Hello friends, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Erin and I'm a homeschooling mom to 3 kiddos, and we are in the state of Pennsylvania. Today we are talking about how the 2024-2025 school year went. We are joining in a collaboration that is hosted by Davine from Calm in the Chaos Homeschool and Shauna from Homegrown Homeschool. I will link both of their channels down below, so hop on over and say hello to them. I will also link the playlist down below. After you're done watching my video, hop on down to the description box, click on that playlist link, and you can hop onto the playlist and see some other videos that some other mamas have posted, letting you know how their school year went for this past school year as well. So thank you for being here if you are here today. And I'm going to jump right in and just update you all on how our school year went. Overall, it was a really great year. Everything went very well for us. Co-op was great for all of us. All of our classes were good that we picked. Home ec class went great for me, and I thoroughly enjoyed teaching that class. All of the kids' classes went well that they chose for this year. They learned lots of good things and grew a lot in different areas. And I just wanted to let you know a couple things that maybe went a little bit differently for us throughout this year from what I had mentioned in my beginning of year video. Some of that being curriculum, some of that being other things. So I'm hoping not to make this video too long. If you have any specific questions about any of my original curriculum that I posted in my beginning of year video, please drop those questions down below and I'll do my best to answer them. I will also link that video up above if I remember to do that, and also down below so you can go back and watch my initial curriculum pick videos from those links that I will post down below. So I had my oldest just completed 6th grade, my middle completed 4th grade, and my youngest completed kindergarten. So that is what we completed for last year. Our evaluations have been completed. I turned in all of our paperwork to the school office this morning. So I turned in our 2024-2025 school papers, our evaluation forms, and I also turned in our upcoming papers for 2025-2026. Those were all of my papers that show everything that I plan to do, and my notarized homeschool affidavit was in that pile of papers, and all of those things that are needed for me to continue homeschooling my children in Pennsylvania. If you have any further questions about any of that, I will also link a video down below that I posted a few years back about the steps that I take for turning in my paperwork for Pennsylvania registration. I'll link that down below. I think I have 1 or 2 videos that go through those things. So if you're interested in any of that, click those down below and that'll kind of walk you through some steps on what it looks like for me to homeschool in Pennsylvania. So let me go ahead and update you a bit on how our year went. So I'll start with overall our group curriculums. They went well. We fully completed our Bible curriculum and let's see what else, our health curriculum. We completely finished that. The ones that we did not completely finish were music and art. So for music, we used Living Harmonies from Thistles and Biscuits, and we really enjoy that unit study. We've really enjoyed so far what we have done with that unit study. We did not get completely finished that, so we will move forward and work on finishing that in the upcoming school year. And also our art book that we were using, Let's Make Some Great Art. We had a lot of really fun art lessons and the book was great, but art took kind of a backseat for us on those days that we just needed to do other things. And not that art is not important to us, but we do art in a lot of other different forms in our family. And so we get those art lessons and learning techniques in different areas. So I felt like setting that book aside on some of those days that we needed to fill in some other things was just fine for us, but we will continue to use that book in the upcoming school year also. And then let me just jump ahead here and start with Eden. And I'll give you just the top the top updates and the top little snippets from each of the kiddos, just so this video doesn't get too long. So for Eden is my youngest, and she is the one that just completed kindergarten, and she had a really, really great year. She did really great in her math, her easy peasy math. She completed kinder math, and she did really great with it. Same with her reading. She has just grown so much in her reading abilities this year. And that is just one of my favorite parts of homeschooling my children from the beginning, has been watching them learn how to read. It's been one of the greatest joys. And that has been so fun to watch with her this year. She's doing really great. She completed Elemental Phonics Level 1 from JDA, and we moved on to Level 2, and she also completed Level 2. So we plan to move into Level 3 in the upcoming school year. I did also mention that we were going to be using the Sight Words Primer book from JDA, and I can't remember if we completed that or not. She did fine with that, but she definitely struggles a little more with the sight words. So we're definitely going to hit that harder next year. We'll probably reuse that book again or complete the lessons that we did not get done. I can't remember now if we completed that book or not, but we will definitely be going over sight words again in the upcoming school year. And I had mentioned that she would be sitting in the All About Spelling lessons with Zoe for Level 1, and I think she sat in the first couple lessons, maybe 5 lessons, and then after that she just kind of checked out. It was too much for her. She was listening, but she was like rolling around on the floor and playing with the letter tiles and things, and that's totally fine, but I could just tell it was just too much for her at her age. So no rush on spelling for her, but I did just want to update that I did not make her sit in on any of those lessons any further than the first couple ones, and I realized it just wasn't really a good fit for her quite yet, which again is completely fine. We'll get to spelling down the road with her. Not too stressed about that. And those were my biggest updates that I wanted to touch on for Eden. She's doing great. She's cruising right along. And let's go jump to Zoe. So Zoe is my upcoming 5th grader. She completed 4th grade. As I mentioned in the beginning, we all had a great year at co-op, and her classes in co-op were home ec, choir, and biblical archaeology. And I would say that her favorites were home ec and choir. She loved them all, but home ec was great. She learned a lot of really good things. And she also got to sing a few solos in choir this year, which was really neat. They did a few performances throughout the year, and I was a helper in that class, so I got to sit in on that, and that was really special. And she really has a great voice, and so we're looking to expand on that for her and potentially find someone to provide singing lessons for her very soon. She completed All About Spelling Level 1, and she got about 75% of the way through All About Spelling Level 2. Now, I don't think we're going to be continuing with All About Spelling in the upcoming school year. It was a really great fit for us this year, and she grew so much, but there's just certain things about it that I don't like, and I'm not saying that it's a bad curriculum at all. I bought most of my items used, and I found that I think I may have purchased some older editions versus new editions for certain things. And I just found as I was getting to some of the pieces, the cards and things like that, I didn't have the correct cards or spelling tiles or things like that. And it was just kind of a shuffle trying to piece together the lessons to make them work. And I think the all around concept is great, and she learned a lot, and it reviews a lot of those foundational spelling rules, which I think are really important. But I don't think that we will continue with that in the upcoming school year. I will let you all know that for sure when I upload our curriculum choices in the next coming weeks. But as of right now, I do not have plans to continue with that. Again, not that it's a bad program. I think it's a great program. I just think it's the lessons are a little long for us, and she was getting a little overwhelmed. And I think we're going to try something different next year, but stay tuned for that final decision. And let's see, she completed her easy peasy readers in the beginning of the year. We didn't read through every single story. We kind of jumped around a little bit and we finished that up. And then for the remainder of the year, we just chose some different books for her to read that were of interest to her. And then I created some reading comprehension questions for her just to make sure that she was understanding what she read. And she also has grown a lot in her reading skills and her reading confidence level, and it's just been really neat to watch her grow and expand in that area. So I think those are major updates for Zoe. We completed all the other things I didn't mention. We pretty much completed teaching textbooks. We got 75% of the way through the course, which is what is recommended to end your year. Of course, 100% would be best, but I do believe they say as long as you got 75% of the way through your level, you will be okay to move on to the next level in the upcoming year. So we got 75% of the way done teaching textbooks, and history, zoology, those things we got completed. Again, we did not do every single lesson, but here and there we kind of jumped around and picked what we wanted to touch on. So it was a good year. It was a full year, and I felt like we did enough in those areas to make it work. And for Easton is my oldest. He completed 6th grade and is moving into 7th grade in the fall, which is really quite hard to believe, but it's true. And he also had a really great year at co-op. They just love co-op so much. He chose to take home ec, photography, and a literature class, which was a Narnia literature class. He read through the whole entire Narnia series this past year with his co-op class, which was a lot of reading, but he really, really, really enjoyed it. He did a ton and learned a ton of new vocabulary words. So, with all of that being said, we did not complete his language arts book, his Easy Peasy Language Arts course. We did a lot of it. I would say we got maybe like 40% we completed. But because the load was so heavy in his Narnia class, I felt like that was enough for him for language arts last year, that we did a few of the lessons in there, and then the rest of it, we just counted his literature class for that topic. Next year, I will probably more than likely have him work through the rest of that language arts book, level 6, and move on to level 7 next year, because it doesn't look like he's going to be taking a literature class in the upcoming co-op year. But again, these are all things I'll touch base on when I upload our curriculum pick videos in a couple weeks. But it all kind of ties together. So just wanted to give you a little snippets here and there. He also had a lot of homework in photography this year. So coming home from co-op with homework that got filled in on those other days that we were home doing school. So his zoology kind of got pushed to the back burner on some of those days. It just didn't take priority. And so he did not complete that course, although he did a lot of it and he learned a lot. Next year, I don't think we will finish with that. I think we're going to do something different. And then also for his history, he was doing the unit study To Every Nation from Not Consumed Ministries. And that was a great unit study as well. And he really enjoyed it, but he did not complete that either. So we're going to finish that one next year in the upcoming fall school year. We may complete that as a family study. Not quite sure yet, but I may have the girls sit in on at least the reading portion for that. And we're also going to do a little bit more in the history area next year as well. But again, just talking about this year. So I think that was it for Easton. Yeah, I think those were his major updates. Teaching textbooks, I had mentioned in the beginning, he tested into level 7 and he did really well with it. It did challenge him in some areas, which is good, but it didn't defeat him, which is also good. So that's good for him. Next year, he more than likely will be in level 8, but we'll see how that goes in the upcoming fall. I think those were major updates for all of them. If I missed anything that you had major questions about from the beginning of the year videos, please let me know down below and I will answer them. And I will also, once again, link that playlist down below. So click on that and you'll be able to see some other moms mention how their school years went. And it's always nice to see an end of year video after you've seen the beginning of your video and maybe the mid-year video. So then you can know how those things went that we presented in the beginning of the year, all those good ideas that we had and all those full plates that we had. It's good to have a reality check, and you can see that, you know, it doesn't always work out how we say, but everybody's learning, everybody's healthy, and that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of homeschooling and life, and just the beauty of being a mom. So, again, thank you for being here if you are here, and we will talk very, very soon.